Live showtime. Hello, everyone. Have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, however, where you are in the world. I'm Caroline, and here we are for the episode 96 of the Puppet Podcast. And here we connect with Hungarian friends. So they are from Harkels Puppetry. Yes, we will connect with those wonderful Hungarian puppeteers. And they are our first Hungarian guests in the show. So I'm so excited. Over there, it's evening, but yes, let's bring all together and bring passion towards puppetry. But before we go into the interview, I just want to let you know that the podcast is doing well. We have more and more connection. That's so cool. And we launched this coaching group. So it's with the Patreon, if you have a look on our Patreon. And we have a group of puppeteers from Canada and US that we put together, and we give tools about social media, how to promote on social media, how to sell our services, even if you are a builder or you do shows, or how to solve this, like how to sell on social media, because I'm with Eli, who is a marketing guy. So he brings that towards our niche, like puppetry. And yes, let's put all together and promote puppetry art on social media. So everyone, if you are there, please write from where you are watching the show in the chat just below. And we always enjoy to connect and say hi and bring some questions towards the interview. It's so interactive, and that's the magic of lives and stuff on social media. Yes, so everyone, are you ready to welcome our Hungarian friends? So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harkels Puppetry.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, I like to make it like and we have a cat also.
Yes,
Yeah.
you sounded so joyful that he decided to join us now.
That's perfect.
I mean, he was on the picture, so
Yeah,
he's basically,
it's he's
Part
part of the interview. So
Yeah.
cool. Hey, I'm so happy to have you on the show. But like, as I always ask the puppeteers to introduce themselves to the show, I will want you to introduce you to the crowd who are watching right now.
right. So,
Yeah, we are the Harkels Puppetry because his name is Harkel and we are married. So we decided to, even though I'm not taking his name with our art, we are representing his name. And we started to create together first, and that's how we met and became engaged very short after.
that was a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
We were shooting a video clip for a music video for the Piano Guys. That's like the very short story.
Yeah, and before that, we had really different backgrounds, but I think we will get to that later. So we had puppetry in our life before that, and we connected through it afterwards. And now we are also having a few live performances. Now because of the pandemic, mostly here in Hungary, or online, and we also started to use the online platforms a bit better. So we create on YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, and you have wonderful content for sure. I will suggest everyone to have a look on your stuff online, and we will drop at the end all the credit and the stuff. But yeah, for sure, online platform is really key right now with the situation. And I'm so curious about how is it in Hungary. You perform also in streets, but now it's not like possible, right?
Well,
I think it would be possible. It's very cold these days, so
like
that is not
whatever. It's February, so
Yeah.
we would
Yeah.
go out.
I forget that it was cold, like my country. That's cold, like here. Okay.
Yeah, it's very cold, especially these days. But yeah, it would be. So busking would be possible. That's your field.
Yeah,
more
that's
like?
mostly my field, or at least it's been my field so far. I traveled across Europe and performed with the finest cellist. And last time, I think it was September, October. Last time in October. That was the last time when we could go out and do some puppetry in Hungary.
Yeah, also because I have a show for children with puppets, and that's not really something that you can do now because of the crowd. So yeah, and I don't really feel like just putting it online would be something to do because I really need the interaction, especially with child audience. So I'm waiting for the time that it will come back so I can meet my audience.
Yes, so cool. I want to ask you those deep questions of the Puppet podcast. So do you feel you are ready?
Yeah, we warmed up.
Yeah, the first one is the why. I ask everyone, and it's kind of archival from people all over the world. What makes the puppetry an art that you cherish?
Should you start or me?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will start. So I was into theater for a long time, and I wanted to be an actress because growing up in the countryside of Hungary, that was the only way I knew I could be part of the theater. And then I moved to Budapest, the capital of Hungary, and I tried to get into the theater university in Budapest, but they did not take me for an actress for 2 years. But in the first year I lived there already and just worked and started another university, I met a few people from the puppetry class in the theater, like the University for Theater and CMRs in Budapest. And they were really nice and welcoming. And I also started a relationship with one of them. So I started to be interested in this art. Oh, this exists as well. Oh, that's really nice. And it was, I think I felt it closer to me than traditional acting because I have a really strong visual imagination, and I also like draw and wanted to become a visual artist for a long time. And this is something that combines visual and stage, like performance art. So then I started to then I applied to another school, which is not the university, but a school for puppetry here in Hungary after we get your grades in high school. So that was my start. And then my teachers really taught me the many ways you can do puppetry. And then I knew that it was the right choice to do.
That's so cool. And it's true that it's people welcome you towards puppetry. That's really interesting.
Yeah. And you?
Yeah. And you?
Why do I cherish puppetry?
Why did you start? Yeah.
Why did the art form itself? I think I had some sort of connection to puppets as a child, but then I didn't really care about that for a while until I've met like a puppeteer in France while I was traveling around. But I think that to answer the question itself shortly, why do I cherish it? Is that you said as well that it's a mixture of more than just one art forms, and I just love that. I just love how it's sculpting, it's mechanics, it's performing, it's so many things together. Yeah.
That's true. That's so true. And I feel it for many people, it's something. The fact that it's combining stuff, it's a source of really inspiration and creativity, and that's great. I want to ask you the next one about the crush moment. For sure, I love to hear anecdote about a moment where you feel you get this puppetry passion and it's a crush moment. Do you have a moment like this?
Yeah. I've already talked about how I was I was traveling, and I've just met this puppeteer, and I think this moment was. I don't know if you can say that it's a moment, like one moment, but it's stretched out through time. So it's more like many moments coming together. Because when I started puppetry, it was really just taking an old puppet and repurposing it to be like a violinist, and just making some money, because I was low on money when I was just hitchhiking around and didn't know better. And I thought that's a simple thing, and then I started to appreciate it more as I realized how it was way more difficult and complex than I thought before. And then as I was improving myself and getting better in the art form, or at least on street level, I think that's important to say. I grew closer with puppetry itself, and then people started to appreciate my art form more as well. And that's a great thing about busking, because you just get an instant reaction. So there's like, you don't have to go home and wonder if what you did was good, or read a review or something.
But I'm curious about this busking aspect. So you are a musician, so you play and do puppetry at the same time, right?
Well, I'm not really a musician. There was a time when I was fooling myself that I can learn the cello, and I was able to play a few simple songs, and I had a cello. I sold that since, but yeah. But my puppet does look like he's playing the cello when I perform. And yeah. So yeah, and then I think this experience, just like there were so many things that happened to me, so many little moments as I was like getting closer to puppetry and like finding myself in this art. I think there were like so many moments that added up to be that moment, that crush.
I'm waiting for trying out busking as well, because as I mentioned before, I really like the interaction with the audience.
Yeah.
And I also studied some applied theater and theater in education. So this is also something that makes me feel that I want to connect puppetry and interaction with people. But for the crush moments, I think I have two. Like, one as a spectator, I saw this exam on the university from the mentioned class, and it was about dictatorship and revolution played with objects. It was like an 8-minute scene, and it was played on a dinner table with plates and a soup bowl, and the soup bowl was the dictator, and he measured who gets how much food and stuff. And then I was like, oh my god, you can create words with objects, and you can create a whole different meaning and the symbolism and stuff. And the other crush moment for me, I think it was when I was in the puppetry school and we started to play around with huge foils that they use with renovations when they paint, and also clay. And then I was like, oh yes, the materials you can touch, you can feel, you can get in contact with these really simple things, and again make them have a very other meaning and very different meaning from what they are. So
that's great. That's so cool, because that's true that the connection with the material for an actress, or like it's so key. Like you feel relief. Oh, okay, this is not so my emotion, or as acting. Sometimes it's just like, okay, I have a kind of peace of mind. I really relate to that too. That's great. And the other question is about the field of study. This is a tricky question, but it's in your opinion, what would be the best field of study to become a puppeteer?
I think if someone has the opportunity to go to a school or university or just take classes or workshops, it's very good because at least for me, meeting with other creators and creating together means a lot to being inspired and having the motivation to do other things. And also, I'm a big procrastinator, so I think the fact that I have other people around and dates and projects I have to do from day to day and week to week helps a lot. And also, I think it is important because if you want to learn something by yourself, it takes double of the time that which you can learn in school. So if you have the chance and you get in and at least try it, because just by the application you will have a lot of people around, and I have good friends just from the applying exams. So
Yeah, we have Jess who say join a community arts company. That's funny. It's bringing inspiration of the good.
Yeah, communities. It's really good.
That's cool.
Yeah, because basically I agree with you. Like that's the best option. Like I feel like if I, if I'd have a redo, like if I could redo everything now, start again, that probably school is better than just personal experience and trying stuff.
But I think you are better in finding your own style, because I still feel like I don't really have a niche because I tried out a lot of things because of the school and I'm interested in everything, but you more have a dedication style. So maybe that's because you learn it by yourself.
I don't know. That might be.
That's so interesting, the niche aspect, and I feel we are already into that right now. Is it better to specialize or to stay broadcast and large? So this is a debate. It's an interactive.
Yeah, especially this online platform, which is really like building an audience based on a niche, and I'm not into it. I can't take it. I'm not that type of artist.
But it's good to be also large and have like a lot of opportunity, but to define your art or your philosophy of art, or it's really also a personality aspect. But I feel we discover each artist have his own art and message, so it's really interesting to confront it and see what it is. I want to know also, in your own word, a puppet. What is a puppet?
It could be this. It could be. I think it could be anything. That sorry. So I think that could be basically anything that's controlled by someone with the curiosity to play and create life or something else. But I think you have better words for
this something else thing, because I think a lot of times we talk about something that is not alive and then we bring it to life through puppetry. But for me, I think it's not so exact in the meaning, and I think puppet can be anything that means something else in the eye of a beholder. So, for example, the American Beauty scene with these plastic bags flying around in the air. For me, that's puppetry, because you see it in there, and it can be something that affects your emotions, and you can be the one that brings it alive with the curiosity, or maybe you just do something and for someone else it becomes puppetry because it means something. So for example, today I saw a short video. I think it was Azama Ceramics, and she creates really practical but also artistic ceramic stuff, and it was a plate with a lady shape in there, and she just poured sand over it, and it covered the whole body, and it made me feel such a strong, I don't know, feeling of home or calmness, and like I imagine the warm sand and and it was not really made with a purpose to mean this, but then you had the opportunity to explain it to yourself or feel how it affects you, and this is the magic of puppetry that I really love.
Wow, that's a beautiful answer. You have something to add, Ash?
No, not really. No, I was just like,
Yeah. That's it. That's the deep question. It's like we are kind of going out of this world because it's so
great.
simple.
Yeah, I think it's great, and it's like this show is about this partially, I guess, that like you can get these different understandings of the same thing, and like it's not like, hey, what is a chair? And that's a chair, and then everyone agrees.
Chair can be also anything. But it can be a huge logo. But it's not a chair.
Yeah, but Ash, you are doing more string puppet, right?
Yeah, I do mostly marionettes, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm curious about those kind of symbol. We are talking about object stuff, but just the string in itself have plenty of symbols of life and death, and like the music, the inspiration. It's really interesting too.
Yeah, but is it? I think
it's for you.
It is. Yeah. I don't really think about like string aspect that much, you know. Like there was a beautiful movie called Strings, yes. I guess, you know, and that was,
they think a lot about
they focused on strings plenty, and that's good, and there's space for that. But I think it's just I try to avoid, and it's something that I meet other artists in like different fields, and they always disagree with me. Mostly they disagree with me that I always say that I try to create something different and like something new, like whatever I do with puppets or anything, I want to create something that wasn't really done before or not in that way. So.
And why they disagree?
I guess they want to make a living and they know that there are things that like they work for a reason, and it's also, I guess it's great to retell a story, you know, from your perspective or in a new way or through different lenses. So they have a right, and they are probably right about that it's not a bad thing to tell these stories again.
Yes, totally. And I want to ask you about your big purpose. Do you have something you feel you want to accomplish for the future, like as a company or as individual artists? That is a kind of a goal or something you want to achievement for a career.
I think like a short-term goal is to finally travel around Europe in our van that we converted last summer and perform all around for different people. For street performing, for me, it's really cool because you can bring art to those who might never see art in a theater because it's just not how they were educated or not what they can pay or not in their interest, and you can still connect art to those. And yeah, the other thing for me is to try a lot of different things and have a lot of interactions and use different puppet styles.
Yeah, I think like this part that like when we'll be able to finally to travel, that's so important right now as a purpose, you know, to go out and like just free entertainment to anyone, which is something I love about busking. That just like you pop up somewhere and you do your thing, and like nobody when they go out in the morning, they don't really expect to see you, and just after all this is over, or hopefully it'll be over, I think that's just a huge and important thing, like a task to do, to give some
Hope, joy,
or joy,
playfulness.
yeah, just that. And as a purpose for us for later, I don't really know, because I want to experiment with different things, but
We have some stories to tell, I guess.
we have stories to tell. We have this year planned out for our YouTube channel, and it's gonna be great. And I really want to focus on short films and create puppetry through the camera, through lens, which is different. We've just did the first episode of our new series called Puppeteers React to our YouTube channel, and I talked about the opening scene of being John Malkovich in that, and then Huber commented, and like we talked a bit. What was I saying?
About the river scene or what?
No, just wanted to say something.
I don't know.
Your channel.
Lost track.
I completely lost track. I don't know what I was saying. I know that there was something like with
a plan.
Uber.
We were talking of goals.
So, and he explained to me that like it took 5 days to create that first dance scene, which is I think like under a minute or a minute and a half, and that is great. And that's something that you can only experience on cinema, but it is still puppetry, and it somehow lifts puppetry up and like makes it the best it can be, I believe. And that's something I really want to do. Back on track again.
But that's good. You have the street aspect, but also for camera, and this is really interesting. Both have their challenge also.
Yeah, I'm also I'm writing a TV series for the Hungarian Files channel, the television now with puppets will be also in there. Puppeteering, and I will direct it, and yeah, it's very different from anything that I did before. So again, stories to tell to different people.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, this is out of the blue, a bit out of the script, but a good story. What is a good story for you? Like, because you have so many stories that we can tell with puppet, but what is your criteria when it's time to choose what you want to bring to the public?
I think we are a bit different on this topic, because you have your personal idea, like you like a specific style of storytelling. I think
I don't know.
We talked about this. For me, anything can be a good story, and because when I look at art, whatever it is, even in puppetry, I really like to see that this is coming from someone, and there are thoughts behind it, and I like to try to understand whoever created what I'm watching or what I'm experiencing, and if there's something that is human, then and it's crafted well, then I'm okay with it, and then I call it a good story.
Yeah, I think for me, it's first I'm really socially engaged with my art, and I'm really interested in socially engaged art. So a lot of times I feel like a story that you think is worth to tell is something that you feel like it needs to be told. Like it has to be out there. It's something that people should think about more, and this is my part in contribution to that project. That okay, talk about this topic. And yeah, the other thing is I like to create stuff that is not so exact or concrete in my mind, and it leaves a large spectrum for the spectator to interpret. So I also like to do that because in that matter, I don't like to be the artist that knows something and wants to tell you that. I want to ask questions and show you like a Rorschach puppetry and stuff. You do something, you interpret it, you make it what you want it to be understood. I don't want to. Maybe you tell it to me and I say, okay, it was just a rock I moved around.
But that's good to bring the question instead of bringing the like you bring the message, and it's so key to bring it in a question way. I don't know how to say it, but it's you don't arrive with solution, you arrive with the question and the thinkingness around it, and it's so key. I feel this is art also. I really agree with both of you. And for the conclusion, I always ask the puppeteer to bring a puppet to the screen so we can see a bit of your work, a bit how you. Maybe you have one somehow around.
Somewhere.
Bring her.
There's one behind us. So, what do I talk about?
This is the one you created her years ago. Before we met.
I started creating her years ago, and it wasn't really finished.
And she didn't really have a purpose, so we wanted to find something for her. And she is kind of a witch, or she has to do stuff with magic for sure. And yeah, this is we are just developing things with her, but we hope to do something with witchcraft and more one-on-one experience with fortune telling. And I'm studying tarot actually to get closer to these things, and so you can be better with fortune telling, because for now she is just improvising, I guess.
But she have horn?
Yes. Yeah,
Well,
it's something you found in the forest. Right?
Yeah.
This
I
is
think
interesting.
they are antlers.
I don't know.
No.
The small,
Me either.
small,
Yeah.
What is in English? People put it in the chat. What is this? Horn is maybe you have a specific English word, and between French and Hungarian, we try to find it in English. But I love the blinking. Like she. Oh wow! Look at those eyes.
You can go closer, Rune. There is Mom Rune. She also has nice signs on her face, and I guess she also has something to tell you, something hopeful. I guess.
She have.
Are you ready?
Maybe she predict the future.
She can, and this is
a kalimba.
This is a kalimba that is used to cast spells, I believe.
Yeah. So she know how to play.
Rozumiem, że gagaźni znów, można wiśnie po stół. Też to wora majkajty znów da wyjść. Tylko masz ty różna stieja, taka ma.
That was her language. That I think it meant something like she's blessing everyone who's watching, and she's wishing hell, or no, she's wishing health and growth, and emotionally, and a COVID-free year. for everyone.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Oh, that's so touching. I feel those blue eyes is talking really deeply to everyone. Yeah. I love that. I could stare at her all day. Wow. And it's really an interesting process to have her always look at the person who speak. Like she looks like a little soul who witnessed the moment. Oh, wow. Yeah, so Harkels Puppetry, if people want to know more of your work, want to connect with those wonderful creativity, brain and spirit, where they could find you.
We are most active on Instagram and on YouTube. You can find us by this Harkels Puppetry name.
We also have Facebook. We don't have Twitter. I don't know why that's good for anyone.
Yeah, and we will also be present on YouTube every two weeks now. So we will put up a different video every 2 weeks.
Yeah,
this is what we prepared. Hopefully, we can keep it up until the end of the year.
We'll create puppets and puppet shorts this year. We'll do some how to make your puppet, all different kind of things, Bunaraku style puppets. I have in
this
mind.
Puppeteers React is looking really popular because there's not many people talking about puppetry and stuff. So this is also something, and that's kind of it. Our private messages are open, so write.
Yeah, write to them. We have here Felix who say, awesome, I like you like the thing, and Guillermo also a little
Great.
thing.
We forgot to say, but it's very important that we've got into this puppetry business together through music video, through that music video for Piano Guys, and then since we've created another one, and
for Sarah Joy.
For Sarah Joy, who's an amazing cellist and singer from the States, and there are two. I believe there are two more for this year, at least, that are in development. So that's coming, and if anyone is in that field, music videos is puppetry style music videos is gonna be one of our focuses as well, and free feel to message us about anything like that.
Yes. Totally. I think it's the place to find connection and yes, and as Bob say, nice to see happy people. You are happy people, and that's why we
at least now.
Yeah, we are happy because we're talking about our stuff, and we have a question from the crowd. Let me conclude because it's a great one. We have many up there, but I feel I lost track. So everyone, we will answer in the chat after the interview. Is being a puppeteer a full lifestyle? Jess is a great question. Is it a lifestyle?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. I have two professions, so I don't really want to choose one. So it's puppetry and theater education or applied theater. But for you, it is.
It is. I mean, it can be a full, like, it can be your job, to pay the bills and everything, and that's great. I don't know, like, lifestyle sounds like a bigger word, it's like, is it being a Rastafari? Is that a lifestyle? And I don't know, like, I've seen a photo of a new sweater filled with puppets, and that's like a new thing that's gonna be, I don't know, it's created by a huge
puppeteer. A brand.
Yeah, it's like Zara or something, I don't know, but it's like an 8, and it costs 8K, and it's crazy, and I think if that's a lifestyle, it can be as well if you're crazy. But I mean, we don't go to bed with puppets. They are not around when we eat dinner and
It's
have
a job and a passion.
but it is a passion. Like they are around the house, and like we do so many things that are connected to puppetry, even if it's not a job or if it's not our YouTube or something.
Yeah, but it's so interesting to have this passion around and feel that you are deeply connected with puppetry. And theater is a big, I don't want to say business, but it's a big art industry, a big art field of art, and for sure puppetry is around, and that's it, around education, around all of that. For all your passion, I want to say a big thank you to what you create, and we can't wait to see those video coming on YouTube and connect with more of your creation.
Thank you for inviting us.
It was really fun talking about these questions.
Yeah, deep question. Thank you. So I will just out of this world. So I will remove you of the screen, but stay here in the virtual studio for our after talk. So let me push like this. I think I push like boom. Everyone, thank you so much for this wonderful interview, for watching, for sharing this puppetry passion. So yeah, feel free to connect with us also with we have a Patreon. Have you know this, that we have a Patreon? You can reach us over there. We offered workshop, and we have 2 wonderful workshops coming. One by the end of February with Eric Simon West. So we will talk about online practice and how to do workshop with kids online. This would be really interesting. But we will also have another workshop with Wes Tank, who got viral on YouTube, and he will give us some advice or some tools on philosophy behind that viral fashion, because I know a lot of people from the crowd and our community want to know what is this, and if puppetry go viral, what it will do for all the community. So for sure, it's an interesting topic. So it will be in March 14. So those are the commercial for the Patreon and all of those workshops we offer on the platform. So thank you everyone for watching again. And yes, stay in touch. You know how it goes. Share, subscribe, and promote puppetry art. So I will wish you a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, however, wherever you are in the world. And stay tuned. We have other episodes coming for the Puppet Podcast.